Hi from Snooker Tips. What we've got here is a red, pretty much in line with the black spot, and in line between the two corner pockets, from corner to corner. This is a bit of long potting advice, I suppose you'd call it. Firstly, always step in from behind the ball. I'm always asked this: how far back from the table do I start to line the ball up? It's almost about half a cue length away from the table. I'll place the ball sort of adjacent to the green spot in this case, on the balk line, so you know that you're playing it from the same place. But don't play it from the spots all the time, because what will happen then is you just wear the spots out. So that's why I'm not doing that. I'll just place it on the table here, and the idea is to put the ball long. Always step in long from behind the ball, like I say, and if you can, try and address it from behind the cue ball, but don't look at anything but the red ball. Okay? Now I'm just looking at that red ball, and I'm not looking at anything else but the red ball when I step in behind the line of the cue ball. I'm only looking at the red. So long as I'm on the line of aim between the cue ball and the red ball, I've put my foot on that line, but I'm still looking at the red ball, even when my hand touches the cue down on the cloth of the table here. So when I put my hand down on the cloth, I'm still looking at the red, and then I'll finally adjust the cue position if needed from the cue ball. But if I'm playing centre ball only, centre ball striking, then I don't even adjust it. I just play through the white like it's not there and aim my tip so it touches the red ball. Of course it's not going to reach the red ball, but that's the idea of the shot. I'll kind of show you what I mean now, okay? And as you can see, obviously I've potted the ball. It's not particularly a difficult pot if it's a pot that you practice, you see. And decent players will practice that pot a lot. Just tried to make sure that I've put the red in a roughly the same position again. Put the white back adjacent to the green spot again. And then I would play this like 3-4 times, just to get sort of a feeling for a shot. Sometimes what you can do as well, if you're not feeling comfortable on the shot, you can bring the ball closer in. So that's where you would aim for a long pot, and that's what you would expect to get. But that's a tough shot, because that shot there, that's just adjacent to the blue spot. That's actually an easier shot because the balls are actually closer together. The distance between the balls is closer, so there's less chance of me aiming off centre ball. Whereas playing a long pot, there's more chance of me aiming off centre ball. So if I was to play that now, then it shouldn't be too bad a shot, should it, really? And there you go. So that's how you would practice your long potting. Your cue must stay level all the way through the ball. Then I bring it back all the way back up to there. So it's sort of like between the balk colours and between the blue spot, sort of in between the two areas there, look, you see? See roughly where it is now? And I'll do the same thing again. And the idea behind this is that you give yourself a chance to get used to potting long balls. My cue must stay nice and level through the ball, but I'm only looking at the red ball. I'm not looking at the cue ball when I address the table, just the red. Something like that. Now if you can do that consistently and pot those 3 balls like that, then you'll start to get into potting long balls. In fact, it's much easier if you do it the other way around. So you start with the ball close, move it out to the blue spot, then maybe progress between the pink spot and the blue spot, then go between the pink spot and the black spot, which is, let's face it, that's where your long balls really are, isn't it? That's where you're going to be potting them from. So key factors there are: make sure you're looking at the red ball, not the cue ball when you address the table. Also, try desperately to make sure the cue goes through nice and slow, nice and steady through the ball. make sure you accelerate through the cue ball, but make sure you're looking at the red. I know there's players out there that will say, oh, you must be looking at the white and all this sort of thing. That's fine for them. It's not fine for me. There are many different techniques out there, but this is the one that I find works. And it works best for me because I can see those long balls really easily. I can see the close balls as well, don't get me wrong, but if you can see those long shots and you can put them in, you can get in and make a break early, you can kill the frame off. But if you can't, then your opponent's going to get in and do the same to you, so it's whoever gets in first really. So long potting, practice as much as you possibly can, and best of luck with that. Bye from Snooker Tips.